Hey guys, my name is xOctoManx, and today I want to show you how to save data and load data in a more secure way than it has been in the last video with the playerprefs. And basically playerprefs, as you might have seen before, are stored in the registry file, or depending on the device you're using, somewhere open. So if you not encode all that playerprefs data you are saving or storing, then yeah, you will have a lot of cheater or people who wants to or use that and cheat themselves money and stuff, whatever they are storing or whatever you are giving them to store in the data. So the way I'm going to show you today is how to store it into a binary format, and let's get started with that. At first, I may use some other class, or basically we are going to create some new classes, or at least one class, and read out all the data from the game itself and store and load that inside that binary format, and I'm going to show you that. At first I'm going to create a new C# script, and I'm going to call that SaveLoad script. I'm just calling that SaveLoad. And this is going to be my script, which is handling all the stuff, or will hopefully handle all the stuff. And this one is not a 100% secure way, but it is like 99%, I would say. So you need to know, or the guys who wants to cheat needs to know how your object is called and so on and so forth, or need to go through the whole memory while your game is working, and then need to check out what stores or what data is floating around and stuff. Oh, I have a small read error. I'm going to be back in a second. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing is I don't need start, and I don't need update for this one. And what I need is several functions, of course, as I have done in the playerpref stuff. So I need a function which is going to store all the data, or actually save all the data. And the next one is I want to make sure that I can load stuff. So I'm going to create a load function or load method. And in this one I'm going to do the basic stuff, and also I want to make sure that I can read all the data, so I have several options in there, but I'm going to skip this for a second. And since I can save and load stuff, I already want a new class. You can store that inside or use it inside of the current SaveLoad script, and I'm going to call this class, I'm calling this class coin collector. Actually, it doesn't really matter how you call this one. This is just a new class, and in this class we are just holding all the data we need, and we store all them, or send all that data into the save and to the load stuff back and forth. So this coin collector is just going to read the data outside from the current coins, also the local variables. And I'm going to do public, and this is going to be just coins, and this will be an integer, of course. I'm just call this one coins. The next thing is I might go over and change my game manager, or maybe my moneyScript. Let's see how I changed that to all of that stuff, just because of the last things, of course. I need to change some stuff pretty quick here. Or basically this was just for getting around the decimal stuff, and so, but basically this is going to be an integer. This is my coins. Let's see where the other script is. I think those are those two. Give me just a second. Okay, I just changed this one pretty quick. So I go back to all that integer stuff and delete all that decimal.coin stuff here, and this is just going to be get money, and there we go. So I don't need anything else, and what I want is I think I want money and other stuff can be static, so you can so they will or might be, if you change your scenes and stuff so on, then you can make your your items and your coins and your stuff, you can make them persistent. And also, instead of writing every time and going to find all that game manager stuff and get component and so on and so forth, you can just make stuff, or actually variables or game objects and stuff, you can make them static. And I think I will go over and make that with get money, so I can use that static variable and use that way easier, I would say, from outside of or from anywhere in the script. So my money script is holding all my coins, so I need to make that script persistent or actually static. So I create, or basically I just write in one line in here, and this is just public static. And now I'm going to take the script, which is called moneyScript, and I just give it a name, money. So now this moneyScript is static, and from outside I can always go and use the name and and can control everything over just that name because it is static. And in here, basically, I don't need to find all that stuff in here, so I should be able to just use that from everywhere I want. I'm going to command this one out. So now I don't have add coins in the MS because MS does not exist. But what exists is moneyScript in the mono behavior. And give me just a second. So to access this one, I need to write in here moneyScript dot, and in there we have a new option which is money, and this is a reference to that to that static to that script, of course. And I can now use that functions I have done before and can go inside of that, like I did with that whole stuff in here. I can just do it in a short way, and in here I just can send the integer money, which is get money. So let's check this one first. Oh, gonna save this one. Oh, and also I don't want to do it like that. So I have a way easier, or basically it's a shorter way. I don't need an extra variable, and I don't need to store and find any game object and stuff. I just make it static and can go with that line just into that script and reference to that script and do everything inside of that script. if it's public and stuff, you know. So let's get started and check this one out. Oh, there's something which is not working. A definition for money does not contain. Give me just a second. I needed to rename in my moneyScript. I needed to rename the script. I just call this one money as, just because I think that it has trouble with that, or with any other variable which is called like that. But I think it was this one, so I call that money as. And yeah, with that money as, it is going to work pretty fine. So there's no naming stuff and so on. Null reference. Let's see. Give me just a second again. Okay, so to make this working properly, I need to go over and make this static member the only one in the scene. So I'm going to write this one into the awake, and there are different ways you can do that, but basically you need just to say money as, which is the name, equals this. So this is the only one which is going to exist. You can also write something like, if you are switching between scenes, then you can just take this one and send it to this one to the next scene, and compare the game objects, which is the newest one or which is the only one which has to be the same one or the right one. Since I don't have two scenes, I just need to do it like that. So money as equals this one. So so I don't get any null reference. And there you can see it adds to the coins as it has done before. Okay, so let's go forward and store all that information, or actually use this. This coin value does not have anything at the moment, so this class is the class I want to store later on, and you can call this one however you like. You can also call this one I don't know, Save Manager. Maybe this is going to be a nice one, or a better name, Save Manager. So this class is going to hold all that information, or will hold that information later on and store that back and forth. Okay, so with this done, I add my coins the right way right now. I have a static, I need to take this one off again and choose this instead. I hope this is working right now too. So we can see that also here inside of that little text objects, which I have done in the last part. Okay, let's go forward and store all that stuff. First of all, I need to add some more namespaces. So the first thing is I want to make use of system. Second thing is I want to add system.runtime.serialization.formatters.binary. Since we want to write the binary files, and this is going to have some kind of encryption, the normal player, unless it's a hacker or know what's inside, a normal player cannot modify those files because they don't know what's inside or what actually should or might be inside. So, and the next one, and also the last one, is using system.io, which stands for input output. Okay, with that done, with all that three namespaces in here, we can go forward and write actually the save function. So at first we want to create a new binary formatter, which is accessible after you are adding the namespace for that. and we are calling this one just binary. You can call this one however you like. We need this one to access the file itself, and or actually, yeah, to make this one serializable and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is going to be a new binary formatter like that. Next thing is, since we want write files, we need to open some kind of file stream. There it is, and we give this one a name. Maybe we're going to call this one F stream. And in this F stream, we are going to create a new file, since we are saving stuff. File dot, and now we are going to create. And in here we are going to create this one in a path. As you can see, you can enter a string path, and you have several other options like security things and so far and so forth. But basically I am going to use a string path, and this is going to be in Application.persistentDataPath. Persistent path is a path which is on the system, like in somewhere in the roaming and so on. And we also want to add to that path, and we want to call our file something. So you can basically call your file options, or you can name your file SaveFile. I'm going to take a specific name so I can find this one on the system and can show you where it actually is going to be saved. And the ending in here, you can call this one dat, like for data. You can call it like SAV for save. You can call this whatever. It doesn't really matter how your ending is, as long as you are able to load it from there with the right name. So I'm going to call this one, I don't know, Octo. So I know this is my file. I wrote this file into the system, and I can find this one later on. We need to close the brackets, of course, and end the line. And the next one is we need to read out the data we have inside of that save manager. This has nothing at the moment, and what I want to do is I want to create a new reference to that one, which is a save manager. There it is. And the save manager class needs a name again, so we're gonna call this one saver or whatever, and we're gonna create a new save manager. And in here we are going to take all the data out of the saver class or the saver manager, and which is coins at the moment. It doesn't really matter what information that is. I'm going to tell you a bit later what kind of stuff you can store inside. This is an integer, and I know you can store a lot of stuff inside. You can store game objects. You can store everything or almost everything. You can also read all that in the information or in the Unity docs. I'm going to take this coins and write information inside, and what I want is I want information outside of the moneyScript, so I need to reference to that. I want to take the current coins and send them or write them into that save manager like here and store them inside. So I know here's an integer, and if this is in a game object, then I need to store the game object and so on and so forth. So I go over here and take all that information from the moneyScript, which is a coins integer, and write that into that class. So safer.coins equals, and now I need the reference again to the moneyScript dot, and you can do that with all your informations. So moneyScript dot, and now we need the money as reference once again, and in here we have the coins, and that's the information I want at the runtime, or at the point when I click the save button, or whenever I want to save, or whenever I call that. Okay, so I store all that coins in my Save Manager class, and this is going to hold all that information like right now. And why do I need to do that? I need to make sure that since binary files needs to be serializable, I need to change something here. To make this one work, I need to open some and close some square brackets and call, or actually say, this class is going to be serializable. So that means that basically all information stored inside of my game manager save manager class are serializable and are able to be written into that binary file, which we are doing here. Okay, so we opened the stream, we took all the information and write that into that new class and store it inside of that. And what I want to do after this one is, after I have all my information, all other informations you want to store inside of that save file are going to be in here. And also you need to make them inside of that. Okay, so once you are able to serialize all your informations, once you were sending them inside of them, then we need actually to serialize, or actually to write that stuff. So what we want is, we need to take the binary formatter, which is called binary, and we want to serialize this one. And as you can see, the options again serializes serialization stream, which is our F stream, and the object we are storing, and the object is our save manager basically. You also can use some headers for that, but I don't go over this one right now. So that's what we want. We want to serialize our binary, and in here we just fill in the F stream we are taking and the object we are saving, which is saver, I would say. Yes. So we take our save manager, which is our serialized object over there, and store that, or actually serialize that one into the binary. Okay, and after we have done that, we take F stream, and we are going to close that file, or that stream. So now basically that file is complete. So after you have added all your stuff inside of here you want to store in that binary file, then you are good to go. Okay, so this is great and should work perfectly. That doesn't really matter here. Let's build that. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and now we need another function, which is the load. We already did this one before, and what we want at first is we want to check if this file already exists. So only load this one when the file exists, otherwise just don't do anything. So if file exists, and now we need to go over and check the path again. Application.persistentDataPath. persistent path, persistent data path, plus, and then again the stuff inside. Oh, I forgot something. This one. And now we want to check if SaveFile.octo is going to be there at that path. And if that is so, then just go forward. And what we want to do in here is, again, we need the binary formatter. We call this one once again binary. And we create a new one, new binary formatter. Then the next one is, again, we need to open the file stream and read what's inside. So file.open, file stream, we need to do it like that. Dot, no, not dot. We call this one again fstream file dot, and now we're gonna go and open this one, and again we need the whole data path again. Copy, paste this one in here, but we need to add an option over there, which is going to be file mode dot open. So with file mode.open we are able to open this file. Then we want again the Save Manager class. It's basically all the same, just a bit different, as you can see. So we take this one and call this one saver again, and in here we type we type Save Manager, and after that one the binary dot deserialize. So we take all the data outside and deserialize all that stuff which is inside of the file stream. And then we are going to go over and close the file, which is fstream.close. This way. So we read out all that information outside of the SaveFile.octo if it actually exists, and deserialize all that's inside that class. And the next thing is we need to take all that data back to our moneyScript. So we need to send all the serialized data and send this one back to the moneyScript. So basically it just works like we have written, or we were reading this one. So we need to take it and make it backwards. So we are taking the reference moneyScript blah blah blah, moneyScript.moneyCoins.coins, and moneyScript.moneys.coins, which is again the reference to that script. We can call this one from anywhere, as we have done, and we send the data outside, or we take the data outside of the Save Manager class and store this one back where it has been. So we take again the reference to the Save Manager, which is safer dot, and there we go, we have the coins value. This is the only one which is inside of the class coins, and store that one back inside the moneyScript. And all the other informations you want to stay safe and to want to load needs to come after this one, because we were reading all the whole information out of that stuff and can send this one back. So let's go over and check what kind of stuff is basically serializable. Okay, so what is serializable is pretty easy. You can you can again use int, float, bool, and strings, of course, are serializable. Other things you can do are vector2 and vector3 and vector4 and quaternions, and also matrix 4x4, color, rect, layer mask. What else? We can store game objects, so which is Unity object, Unity engine, actually engine.object, I think. This is not the right words, but you know what I mean. And inside of Unity engine.object is, so this is basically everything inside is game object can be stored, components can be stored, mono behavior can be stored, texture 2D can be stored, and animation clips can be stored. I'm not sure if there is more. Oh yeah, there is. You can store enums, and you can also store arrays and lists, of course. So with all of that information, I think you can do a lot of stuff. You can store arrays, you can use lists for multiply save files and so on and so forth. You can store everything in one file or do everything in an extra file. You just need to name them 1, 2, 3 and so on and so forth. You can do whatever you like and however you want to manage the stuff, and you can store everything in arrays and lists to show and to make stuff work. Okay, what I want to do right now is I want a connection to my buttons, and as you can see now everything is private, so we need to go over and make everything like the save and load function. We need to make them public. And if I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to check this one in a second, it might be needed that those functions are also be static. But at first I'm going to go over and do make those guys public. But I think you don't need to make them static. I bet it is working like it is. It should work, of course. Okay, so I have the void save, the void load, and both are public, so I can use my old buttons, which I have used before for my for the playerprefs stuff. Nothing is moving. Okay, it's a bit laggy. I'm sorry for that. And on the save button, as you can see, I had the old thing in there, but as a playerprefs. But since the game manager does not hold the playerprefs already or anymore, then I need to go over and add the script for that load stuff inside of my game manager object, or on any other game object. I can also place this one onto the camera. It doesn't really matter as long as it is in a scene. So let's go and take the game manager object. I'm going to open on this one again, and I take the SaveLoad script in here. It's bluish because I have a connection to or actually I was creating a prefab, that's why it's blue, but you should know that already. And now I need the connection to the buttons. It needs to be on any game object in your scene, because otherwise I couldn't use a save button and take any game object where the script is on. Okay, so I take the SaveLoad script, and what I want to do is I want to, since it's a save button, I want to call the function save. And the same for the load button. So taking the game manager object, go in here, so SaveLoad script, and take the load function of that. And my delete button can actually be deleted because currently this is not, I bet I can delete this one, but it's not what I want to go over right now. I just want to make sure that I can save and load data and send them back into the scene. Okay, so let's get started and test this one out. I'm going to save and check this stuff. Okay, there we go. The system already loads and stuff all works fine. And now I go over and press the save button. And now it should have stored all that 18 coins which it has before. So now we are at 37. I'm going to pause this one. Now we are at 37 coins, and if I load right now, it should load inside of the game manager object. It might not be already seen in the scene because I don't refresh this one when I load, but I might do this one later on. So or basically I can also just stop. I'm going to check this. So now I load, and now you can see it pops back to 18 and adds coins to that. Again, I'm going to load this one, and there you can see it loads the 18 coins. Okay, just for the second or for the last one, this is working like a charm and is somewhere stored on my computer, and I want to find out where it is. Okay, after searching my my computer, I have found my saveFile.octo, and this is going to be in the folder new Unity object project, and this is located in C, user, private, app data, local low, and default company. Default company is the one you are basically are if you are go over and go in the project settings. Where is it? Build settings. It can be in the build settings. No, it is not. Player settings, there it is. And in here you have your company name, which you are always adding into your project, of course, and your product name. And my product name would be, I don't know, test Unity project, or currently it's new Unity project. And the default company I could just write in xOctoManx, and then it would be in the folder called xOctoManx, which is currently in default company. So this data which is in your player settings, you need to change this one to whatever you like, and then you would found this one. You would found the folder, and you would find this inside of the default company stuff, and there would be your save file. And currently it's 76 bytes big, and I tried to open this one and show you what you are actually seeing in this. I cannot open this one since I don't, or my system does not know any octo files. And I'm going to take the editor just to make sure that I can show you what's inside. And that's it. The funny thing is, as you can see, is some plain text over here, coins and save manager, but you can't see what else is there. So you don't know the value, you don't know, or the player or whoever tries to modify this one don't know what is basically inside of that. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. The only thing is the names here. You can think, okay, maybe this is a connection to coins, but it's not. This is not directly the the stuff we are basically using in the game, because we were storing all that information in our serialized game object, and this does not do anything except for a second holding that information, and then it just destroys, I would say, and you cannot modify the save manager file because, yeah, we do it like that. So we don't store directly the stuff inside of that, so it would be way harder, I think, to send all the information back. Okay, basically if you load this one, you might be able to do anything with that because we use that inside of that, but it doesn't really matter. This is not readable except those stuff in here. If you want to make sure that this is also not readable, you might use some weird names for that or encrypt this one once again. But basically, this is not hackable. Yeah, this is very secure. As you can see, no plain data. You cannot see how much coins does that guy or that player have inside of the save manager stuff. And yeah, this is I don't know, 99% way more secure than playerprefs, of course. As you have seen, there's no plain data, there's nothing, just binary stuff inside. So just some names, for just the name of the class and the value we are storing inside. But we don't know, is it an integer, is it whatever. So nobody knows, or hopefully nobody knows, except it's a very good hacker, I would say, or somebody who knows how to make binary code again visible or readable and changeable. Nobody else can just change that file. Otherwise it would be, I think, corrupted, and you can just delete this one if you find it. Okay, so that is everything I wanted to show you. So this is the best, or not the best, but I would say the most, the coolest way to store data in a safe way, in a secure way, so you don't need to, You don't need to cry when people try to hack your stuff. Basically, hackable the games are always, but the save files are not hackable that easy. So, and 9 out of 10, you can say this one is very safe. Okay, this is everything I wanted to show you in this. In this little tutorial. I hope it was helpful. I hope I explained everything which was needed and is needed, and I hope you enjoyed. I did, of course, and I learned something new too. Anyhow, see you in the next tutorial, and if you have any questions about that stuff in here, I try to answer this as best as I can. And write me in the comments below, and also just thumb it up if you like this one. And if you not have this one already, just subscribe to my channel so you can see more tutorials in the future. Okay, that's it for me. Bye bye.